Good morning and welcome to episode 1252 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, July 17th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We've got an about 80-ish% accuracy guarantee on this show. Today, we'll be talking about all the latest news stories you need to know about to catch you up from the weekend and much more. And you could watch that on YouTube Live because they are back. We stream live on youtube.com/hardfactornews, 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, which ends up, of course, on Spotify and Apple Pods at midnight Eastern, Monday through Friday. You know, pretty much 5 days a week, the whole year. At Hard Factor News on Twitter, too, because we'll probably get kicked off YouTube and the lives will go away again at some point. So they're simulcast on Twitter at Hard Factor News. You can catch them in both spots. Patreon.com/Hard Factor for more bonus content on top of that. If the daily pod just isn't enough, that's it. That's all I got, guys.
That's pretty good, Will.
Great job, Will.
Okay.
I just
pretty strong.
Spammed the Discord. The 400 plus members of Discord, let them know we're live, you know. So
patreon.com/Hard Factor comes with that Discord chat.
Is that how you get in there?
Yeah, that's how you get in there. Yeah.
Good to know.
Patreon.com
is. You guys ready to just hop into it and do the news?
Yeah. Did you mention that this is like the new format that we do on Loosier Goosier on Sunday night, Monday shows? Or
we're just going to do the news, right? So
yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
What story you guys want to talk about first?
Is Will avoiding saying that we're going to be a little loosey-goosey?
No, we actually talked about how we wouldn't address that during the show.
Right.
So,
Wes and I missed it. Wes and I missed it.
I don't think loosey-goosey is the best,
whoopsie daisy, loosey goosey.
Yeah,
loosey goosey is forgetting what we
less
talked
professional.
about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Less, we're gonna be a little less professional on Monday.
Whoa! What about the loosey goosey thing we talked about?
We did less research. The story that I was most energized about was RFK, the RFK Jr. stuff. You guys see what happened over the stuff?
I saw nothing, bro. Update me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
he hates the Jews.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna. So
he made quite a comment about them, about a study that references them. Yeah,
that's right. So it's the same dinner where the one guy was just farting to get his point across, just
farting over climate change. Yeah.
So the guy farting over climate change. Here's a video recording of RFK Jr. They got him going on ethnicity related to COVID.
Uh-oh.
Don't get him going.
Oh, he got going for sure.
Yeah, here it comes.
Look, for the past 2.5 years, and you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure of genetic differentials among different races. Of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor.
Takes a while to get his points across.
COVID-19 is
enjoy the whole time too
to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese.
Did you say the Jews?
But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted at that or not.
Did like a specific group. I don't even know what that means. The racial and ethnic differential.
What do you say, antagonizing Jews?
Oh, stop it.
We do know that the Chinese are spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing ethnic bioweapons, and we are developing ethnic bioweapons. That's what all those labs in the Ukraine are about. They're collecting Russian DNA, they're collecting Chinese DNA, so that we can target people by race.
He
So
said
there
the
you go.
Ashkenazi Jews, which are
Yeah.
white
Ashkenazi,
Jews.
which is Jews who reside along the Rhine in Western Germany of all.
It's most people when they get there who are Jewish who do their ancestry.com, they come back Ashkenazi Jewish. Versus
Interesting.
Sephardic Jewish
So,
is just where
obviously
in the
that-
world you're from.
Obviously, those statements were, written about by a lot of people over the weekend. They're like, what did he say about the
Oh,
Jews,
yeah.
the Chinese? What?
So I mean, there was nothing about the Jews that was bad. There was more
Well,
like
what he's implying is that the Chinese, it's a bio. He's implying. He said he's not for sure, but that we can't rule
He
out.
thinks
And then he doubled down on.
COVID-19
He
is
thinks
a
COVID's a
bioweapon.
bioweapon the Chinese created specifically to kill less Asian people, specifically Chinese people,
less Chinese people, yeah, is what
and
he-
kill more whites
saying.
and blacks. And he mentioned that the Ashkani Jews are like they get the benefit of whatever the Chinese did, like they
and the
because-
Finns.
Yeah,
The thing that he really fucked
He
up
thinks
on
it's a
there is
fucking
he
bioweapon.
referenced. He came out and he
is a
tweeted
bioweapon.
a response
well,
to all the
designed,
articles.
ethnically designed bioweapon. I don't think so.
Well, he
Not-
says that the U.S. and China have been designing like
Right.
viruses to infect their enemies for a long time. And
He's
they put
like,
money
and
into
it's
that.
and look, the Ashkenani Jews helped fund it, so they get the benefits from the
he,
Chinese.
but
He
it
didn't
wasn't
say that though.
Like they always do.
They always do.
He said they benefited like the
They're
Chinese.
like producers of a movie. Like they always benefit. Think Hollywood,
He fucked up by so he tweeted the link to the study that he was referencing,
Yeah.
and the Finns actually fall in the same category. Finns,
Well,
Chinese,
that's as white as
and-
you get, Finns.
and
Yeah.
Ashkenazi Jews. And him leaving out the Finns actually is a big deal because it makes it sound very racist right after you say COVID was a bioweapon, right?
Right.
Because the
Well,
only
he
two
said it
that
was
you
an
mentioned from the
ethnically
study
created- yeah.
is Chinese and Jews, even though the
It's-
Finns were also included. So it made it look even worse almost when he tweeted his response because you could tell he fucked up with what he was saying.
Obviously,
right? It made it sound bad.
The Jewish got the most buzz because historically they've been
Right.
scapegoated more
That-
than anyone else.
That's what got wrote about, right?
That's what got wrote about, but that's bad. But equally as bad as saying the Chinese created this and designed it to kill everyone besides Asians. Like
But
that's
if he
also
believes
insane.
that,
That's
but if he
also
believes
insane.
that, how is that insane?
insane.
If he believes it, it's not insane.
He
right?
needs a doctor with him at this point. Okay, the first thing he came through, right? What do we know
Ouch.
about him? Cold, you know nothing about him. He's got some vaccine thing. Then we heard what his explanation for vaccines was. Like his thing is like, they don't test him right. Okay, I bought that. Doing no further research. I'm like, yeah, okay. He seems like he knows his shit. Why would he lie about that? Now he's coming with a second fact about deep medical shit. He needs a doctor to roll with him, right? Like to be
Right.
like,
No,
yes
the
or
study
no.
exists. What he did, the study exists.
Lots
what
of
he did
studies
was
exist.
link his theory about it being a bioweapon to the study. That's where you get into the 4chan territory. See,
But is he running for president
He
even?
said,
Like-
he said, I think it's a bioweapon. And in fact, there's this study that if it is, the Chinese and the Jews benefited if it was a
And
bio.
he said
And
like
so
the next he said there's
Right.
another
fucked
bioweapon
up.
coming that's going to make COVID look like a walk in the park, and that 50% fatalities. He thinks that there's going
Well, that's tough.
he's obsessed with
That's bad. Deal.
ethnic bioweapons. The guys
So
guys
so
are
real
nuts.
quick.
Well,
this
the
was-
CIA did try to delete his family, so
Yeah.
it gives you a little context. for
Why is he
believes the
hammering this
things he
shit?
does.
Get on a policy
Yeah.
issue, man. This like you need a doctor with you or move on.
Right,
Everyone knows you from like medical theory already. Find
Right.
the next thing we're gonna know you for. But there is like a bias that's untrue but easy to link where it's like for example like black people die more often during childbirth, but that's because
Right.
of access to. Black people get other diseases. That's because of places they live closer
Well,
to
lifestyle, right? He's like
poor
he's like, "COVID, you got
people
more whites than
traditionally,
black people,
right?
fat, like
there
more
is
overweight
data
on
there,
average."
which is a
It's
bummer.
true. There's
But-
if you look at the report that even in the CDC did one by ethnicity in the U.S. Per 100,000 deaths, by race or ethnicity or whatever, Asians are lower.
You got to look at
What,
lifestyle.
but like if you look at it, it's just so like minuscule. Like the
Access
data
to
is
healthcare.
it's like 100 out of 100,000 people, like on average. Like the numbers are so low, and it's not like no Asians were affected or dying. So,
Right.
like
What
they did a bad job.
RFK
If they
needs to
designed
say,
it.
like
Yeah.
the bioweapon thing in general, he could just say like, I think it was a bioweapon and move
Right.
on. What he
Just-
needs
that
to
would have been
hammer,
better. Yeah.
what he needs to hammer is the vaccine shit, because now that
yeah.
the vaccine side effects and the death rate is coming out, that's what he needs to harp on, because that's where the data is that
He's
supports
got
his
to
his
stick
theory.
to one thing, one medical thing
No,
at a time. Robert
he's
Kennedy, F.
obsessed
Kennedy
with-
Jr.
He's obsessed with medical stuff.
Well, this is like you know how like it's so like you just borderline some racist shit anytime you go down that
and
world,
also
that line.
when he slipped in the Jews,
Forgetting
like,
the
the one guy at the end of the table was like, "Oh no," you could see.
No,
like,
I mean,
oh, what did he say about the Jews?
He didn't slip in the Jews.
It's a Freudian omission, you know.
Yeah,
but it's like you know, you hear that like Native American
There was
people.
one
right?
other like group of people
Can't
that's
put my
involved.
finger on it.
The Jews.
But like Native Americans, they metabolize alcohol differently, right? So like alcohol ravages them. Like that's like, you know, that's like a genetic thing, right? Or like an ethnic thing, so to
I think
speak.
it's
Well, right.
kinda-
What he's saying is that the receptors of this, what he considers as a bioweapon, is more designed to attack, you know, white Americans and African Americans and blah, blah, blah. Those people also happen to be on average more overweight. And so there's a lot of stuff that could be coincidental in his
Black
research.
people are way
I
more
personally think it's a
obese
crazy
than white
statement
people
to-
as far as
Yes.
like the statistics go.
Right,
I
he's looking
personally
at
think
this-
it's crazy to say that
he's
the
linking it
Chinese
together.
created this as a bioweapon to kill other races.
I don't think that's that nuts.
I think.
Oh, dude, that's so nuts, Will, because of what
That's
it
crazy.
means. It was just, it's a, because look, it could be true, could be not. RFK is not the guy who
That's-
should be talking about it at his campaign dinner, and it just ramp
an
up some
accusation.
conspiracy stories, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
But
that
if he
nuts that it would
believes it-
exist either, Will.
Yeah.
I think that it would make perfect sense.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
people that don't think it's
biological
nuts. That's
weapon
why
to target certain kinds of people.
really would.
RFK's got a following.
It's heady. It's pretty heady, dog.
But
Fauci's got some answering to do if that's the fucking truth, you know? Because
He's so up Fauci's ass. Like, I mean, the thing though is that like he already was fighting an uphill battle. He's an anti-vax Democratic candidate. That's already like a fucking like.
He's not
how do you
anti-vax.
even do that?
He's
And
not
then-
anti-vax.
He is anti-vax.
He kind of is, and so
he's not anti-vax. He's questionable vax. He's like, we
study
need to
the
question
vaxes before you give
Wouldn't
them
say
out,
he's
which is
pro-vax.
against the rest of the
Wouldn't say
party,
he's
right? And so like that's already an uphill battle. Now he's out there, you know, messing up, forgetting the Finns in a study and just naming the Jews and the
Why are
Chinese.
you hammering the
He's
Finns so
already-
hard? He
Because
he
if
doesn't
He
just
care
said
about
the Finns.
Caucasians because he said
If he
Caucasians.
had just mentioned the Finns, the study it wouldn't have been so.
Will's always
in
looking
the
out for the
context
Finns.
he gave it, saying
No,
like
no, no.
bioweapon,
He's
China,
saying-
Jews,
He kind of just
like
proves.
right, like he.
Kind of
I
just
get it, I'm
proves
kidding.
that the Caucasians
left
were
it out.
targeted. What's it called? What the biggest takeaway I have from this is that we need the hottest ticket in town is going to one of his dinners. He's got he's got
Farts.
guys letting out violent farts to get their points across, and he's just you give him one vodka soda, and he's ranting about the Jews.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my son's
What about
a
the
villain.
Jews, RFK?
Was your son just at an RFK dinner? Is that
Well,
what
he's an RFK guy. Is the
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I mean, we gotta get to one of these dinners.
He was laughing maniacally, dude. The fart guy, who was just stacking his farts and like rolling into a dinner to potentially
Beans.
use them for activism.
Yeah.
Like, if that guy's at your dinner, you can pretty much say, and I understand it's not like inextricably linked, but you're not going to be president. Like, if fart guy's at your dinner.
For sure.
You know, it's just like, oh shit, fart guy showed up. Like, damn, it's like Punxsutawney Phil. Like, you're not gonna be president.
Exactly. Well, RFK, I've always thought, like I just said, don't think he has a shot on the ticket he's running for ever. I don't think he ever did. So it's just more fun to watch his campaign, right? Like,
and he's at least
He's a physical freak.
he might be
Right.
insane.
He's
He
juiced
might-
to the
he might-
gills.
Yeah, he might be,
Popeye dog.
he might be a little bit nutty, but at least he's you know, saying what he thinks.
oh yeah, he's
Which,
not holding
which is
back.
good. We just don't know his qualifications to say it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Well, he's a lawyer. He's
No
a
one's
published
coaching him
author.
what
He's,
to say.
he's
Yeah.
he's definitely got like intelligence, but also
No, I know he
think
digs in, but
put it back to his family history, man. Like you're gonna have some different kind of views when
You're not going to
Yeah.
trust
That shit happens to your
trust
family.
many people.
Well, to Wes's point, like, you know, someone that gets assaulted is more likely to become a predator. So let's keep the Kennedys out of the office as well.
wait. Are you saying?
They're part now.
Yeah.
Are you
Sorry,
saying?
all Kennedys are
abused. They're
About
no
Kennedys are
pedophilia?
allowed to run for office anymore.
Are you saying that if your uncle's president and gets assassinated under suspicious circumstances, then your dad gets killed by a guy with two names, but who was brainwashed and trained to kill him like Mugatu, you'd be
Yeah, he
skeptical
has a right
about
to be paranoid.
might be
the
miffed.
government?
You might be miffed by the U.S.
Yes, he has a
government.
right to be
yeah.
paranoid.
Dude,
about
that
the government.
Sirhan shit is insane, bro. It's insane.
Dude, did you see that Trump's pulling the Biden? So Biden does, I'm going to forgive student debt every time he runs and then doesn't do it. Now
Right.
Trump's saying that he's going to declassify all of the JFK stuff again, which is what he said the first time and didn't do it. So, but now the second time this is really going to happen this time.
Maybe RFK should start saying he's going to declassify the JFK stuff and leave.
He said some shit on Rogan about that. Rogan asked him about it. He addressed it. I mean, it was like a nothing burger. He's never going to be president, but
right. He said, obviously, I
right. He's like, there's some questions I shouldn't ask, probably, or should ask. I don't know.
You think there's a group of guys hiding in the shadows, being like, "Don't you think it'd be funny if we took him out?"
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I think it'd be a little funny.
Just for the rule of threes.
Get another Kennedy.
No one's gonna care. No one cared before.
That. Yeah, absolutely. Every team meeting, every weekly meeting at the CIA.
Look, we've been working hard. Let's do one. Let's do one assassination for us.
Come on.
Let's do one for the boys. We've been working hard.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fun fact, though, speaking of very unpopular politicians, I said on Friday's show that they mailed Macron a severed finger, because none of his citizens liked them. Mm-hmm. Well, on Twitter, one French listener tweeted at me to say that he personally loves Macron, and I'm very happy for Ang Pierre, but he's 1 out of 30% that approve of Macron. I looked it up after he tweeted at me. An approval rating somehow a full 10% plus below Joe Biden on average. So wait, if you can believe that, that's how unpopular Macron is.
Wait, I thought Biden was at like 30% too.
Biden's 30, Biden's 40, Macron's 30.
Wow, 40 is pretty high for Biden.
And now France is like on fire. He's so unpopular. So
people must be voting twice for approval for Biden, you know.
But we have one French listener who adores Macron.
Dude,
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 like him.
3 out of 10 love him. Can't get enough.
Dude, the Kennedy file disclosures are so weak, right? They did one 6 months ago, and the Mary Farrell Foundation guy, who's like the Kennedy expert, Mary Farrell, like they're the people suing to get the full record. They were like nothing, right? And it was big news. Biden released on the 30th a memo that was redacted forever with the guy, CIA operative, who was intercepting Oswald's mail. And dude, there's one article in the New York Times. That's it. There's no other news about it. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, it's all the stuff they've ever put out has been purposely doesn't give you any information, right?
Gives you no information, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's obviously been. I mean, come on. At this point,
99% has been disclosed.
Let's just stop pretending.
In the last documentary kind of put that to rest that came out.
Yeah,
it was Oswald for sure.
What documentary was that you watched?
It was the most recent.
For sure.
It was the most recent one about how
the Oliver Stone one that said it was not Oswald.
No, it was what was it? It came out recently. Where he was training. He went to Chicago and was going to do it there, and then that didn't happen, and then.
So I guess what would be the argument that it wasn't done by the government, considering they wouldn't release the information for this long?
Well, the argument is that there's no good argument. Well, that's why.
No, there's none. There's literally none. So
through the looking glass.
What they would say is through the
maybe
glass
maybe the argument would be like they were
yeah.
informed and they didn't act on it, or like something embarrassing like that. Like I don't know.
Especially that's what they've been hiding this whole time. Sure.
It's got to be something, right? I mean, it could be, they organized it, or it could be they could have stopped it,
Well, dude, they used to fucking hide behind the fact that if they released everything, it would release other things that would be not favorable. But then
it would cause riots. We'll tell you that.
they wrote letters to Martin Luther King Jr. being like, "We know you're cheating on your wife. Why don't you kill yourself? Kill yourself." Like that was COINTELPRO. That came out. What could be worse than that? You know what I mean? That defensive. If it gets released, there's something else.
Those alphabet agencies are dangerous. We got to be careful about what we say. We can't bunt on 2 strikes on YouTube. You know what I mean?
That's true. Can I play you guys?
We should move on from the conspiracies, is what you're saying, Mark?
Well, I mean,
before we get deleted off YouTube.
I'm getting a text message. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting a
Understood.
Hey, fine. YouTube will love this shit. Collective bargaining, unions. All right. Check out this amazing speech from James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, about why the actors and writers are striking this year.
What a shame it is. He needs to remember that in 1980, CEOs like him made 30 times what their lowest worker was making. Now Bob Iger makes 400 times what his lowest worker is. And I think that's a shame, Bob. And maybe you should take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, why is that? And not only why is that, is it okay? Is it morally okay? Is it ethically okay that you make that much more than your lowest worker? And if so, why? Why is that okay? If your response is that that's just the way business is done now, that's just the way corporations work now, well, that sucks, and that makes you a person if that's your answer. So you should come up with a better answer than that.
Yeah.
Fucking roasted him.
Yeah. Do we have the Pearlman one too? Do we download Pearlman?
No, Pearlman's like he's angry. That was actually just
that was
great
a death
points.
threat. Pearlman's a death threat.
Pearlman's a nut job.
Yeah.
But
7 days ago,
Sean Gunn is the man.
Yeah, that was
Deadline ran an article saying effectively, Deadline quoted an executive. So an executive who Deadline talked to said, we're targeting mid-October at least because that's when the writers will start losing their homes and their apartments. Right. And Pearlman did this video talking about that person. I'll see if I can't bring it up.
I have it on Twitter. I can retext it to you guys, but
do we know who it is that he's talking about?
No, because it was an anonymous. It was an anonymous, and it was an insider.
He says that he knows who you are. He says, I know who you are.
Oh yeah, I want to play it. I want to play it for everyone because it's incredible. Here,
so apparently, well, you're getting up, Mark. Apparently, I talked to Marius, is a lawyer we work with every once in a while, and he was like, bro, this has been the plan forever. He's like, this isn't news. Deadline ran it. The public's finding out about it forever, but like, this is what the studios have been saying. They've been saying this since before the strike even took place. That they're October. We're gonna do something. A strike's gonna come eventually, and we're gonna push them to the brink.
It's really weird how comfortable the studios are with playing the villains from their own movies. Like, they're literally being the bad guys in all of their movies, and they just don't give a fuck. Like, they are embracing it. It's strange.
So let me share my screen. How do I? It's a tab. Can I do that?
Oh, Mark, I got it. I got the video.
You got it.
Yeah.
Pearlman's going to jail.
I don't think Pearlman's going to jail, bro. I love this. So
he might act. You want me to keep an eye on Pearlman?
So SAG,
he's always been nuts.
SAG after the actors, they join the strike, which is huge.
Hellboy.
That's absolutely huge because they get attention, right? They have big social media followings. They're the faces.
Yeah, the Oppenhomies walked out on their premiere in England.
Well, did you see why they joined? Did you see Disney's? So Disney's proposal to SAG was that you get paid for one day of work, and then they can take your likeness and use AI forever in perpetuity. So that was literally
you get half
Disney
days.
offered.
You get half days when they use your likeness.
That
for
sucks.
Yeah, so that's literally what Disney offered to the actors. So they immediately joined the writers
to show up
on strike, and then Bob Iger, that motherfucker's the one who was proposing that. So it's insane. He gets paid, millions and millions.
Well, makes sense.
And some of these struggling actors
for a while. Yeah.
Imagine if you're a character actor,
Disney
dude.
hates human beings. I love animation. Yeah.
You're getting a couple thousand per job, right? You're not fucking raking in the dough, and then they don't even have to use you. They can just AI you for the rest of the.
It's horrible for 95% of the writers and actors. Yeah, it's horrible.
Here's Pearlman right after SAG-AFTRA joined the strike, talking about that Deadline article where they said they're going to force them out of their homes. Wait till October.
Thing before I get off this, the motherfucker who said we're going to keep this thing going until people start losing their houses and their apartments. Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it is financial, some of it is karma, and some of it is just figuring out who the fuck said that. And we know who said that. And where he fucking lives. There's a lot of ways to lose your house.
Grandkids playing in the background.
You wish that on people. You wish that families starve while you're making $27 fucking million a year for creating nothing.
He's implying a tiger.
Be careful, motherfucker. Be really careful. Because that's the kind of shit that stirs shit up. Peace out.
All right, God bless.
Peace. Yeah. Peace.
He also doesn't have any Marvel contracts worth noting. He's
Hellboy's fine.
He's
never cared though.
Head that he doesn't work for.
He's never cared. He's always spoken his mind. No, it's fucked up, dude. So, and this is the front line. So when the writer's strike started, I have a couple projects right now that are like halted, right? Nothing going on because of the strike. So I've been talking to the writers. When it started, it wasn't so much primarily about AI. It was about payment. So like the studios were coming in and being like, where you used to be on a TV show for 6 months, they would try to get you to do all your work in 4 weeks.
Right. That's what the writers are striking about, like shitty pay structure, no health insurance, all this kind of shit. That's how it started, right? And then AI's come into it.
So AI was always a part of the conversation, but check this out. So a rewrite for the Writers Guild of America on a movie, $60,000. So let's say someone writes a movie, you get paid to rewrite it. $60,000, that's your minimum, right? That's what's so great about the Writers Guild is it protects you. Like if you write a movie and then that movie becomes a franchise, you get a little piece, right? If you write a movie and it goes to theaters, if you work with just producers, you're not in the guild, you're never going to get your royalties. The guild gets you your royalties. It's a must. It's a necessary thing. AI came into place because producers were paying writers to rewrite AI scripts for $30,000, so half the WGA minimum. Yeah, and dude, they're on the front line. If WGA folds, because the Producers Association is essentially saying no concessions. We want full use of AI.
But now they're facing a double strike, Pat. I don't think they thought they were going to get this double strike.
Yeah, AI is not ready to produce good stuff yet.
AI
actors are hooking up the writers right now because they weren't ready for the actors to pull this. And
they knew they thought it was happening.
AI like this shit.
Who really needs to do it is the directors. If the Directors Guild strikes, they have fucking power, but they're not going to do it because they're pussies. But dude, it's fucked up. If they don't stop the studios now, the industry could be dead as we know it. 5 years from now, when AI is great.
What's interesting about strikes with an aging population in the United States, you look at our demographic graph. If AI doesn't take off like to the extent people think it will, in a lot of ways, young people are going to have so much power with strikes because of how aging our population is, and the fact that so many people who will not be working in a few years are going to rely on the very few people that are still working, and strikes are going to be a massive bargaining tool for everybody. And maybe the actors and writers are the first ones to show that. We'll see.
What if we were all wrong and AI is like DVDs? It just stays stupid, like never takes off.
That would be awesome. If it's like robots are always super dumb.
They're really dumb.
They make straight to video movies, is what you're saying.
I was talking with the guy.
Dolph Lundgren.
I was talking with a guy who's in AI over the he owns a technology company, and he's got friends in the AI business and whatever. I'm cutting like a video for his son's birthday, and he was telling me they just developed these supercomputers that are like 10,000 times what we already have. AI is not going anywhere. It's going to be
thinking.
It's going to be insane.
No, you're toast.
We had a good laugh about it. 20 seconds.
It was fun.
Exactly, Wes. It's just fun to think about that quantum computer being a dumbass. But it's smart,
dude. You know, we have a Y2K coming down the pike with quantum computing.
It's a real Iron Man 2 situation.
So encryption, anything that's encryption, any password, right? Encryption. But not like a password. Let's like you sending encrypted messages through Signal or some shit. It's just a really complicated math problem that can't be solved. Quantum computing will end every encryption as soon as it hits the market. So like, there's no passwords and there's no protection.
Because it can always get to the data.
It can solve any problem. It can try innumerable infinity combinations of attempts to solve the problem, and it'll fucking solve the problem. No passwords, dog. Passwords.
The brain is inside the computer.
Can it figure out women though?
No, it can't. It's actually a great segue, Mark. Let's talk about figuring out women, because as quantum of computing be damned, there's
got to solve that computer.
There's always going to be women, right? And there's always going to be us trying to understand them, right?
Why'd she say it if she didn't want me to, do it? Like what?
And there's always going to be someone simping on those ladies.
I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah. Making it worse for the rest of us. You guys know what an NPC is? Non-playable character. You familiar with that?
Of course.
I know that the two boys at the bottom do. Wes, do you know what an NPC is?
No. Is it a video game reference?
Yes. Mark, please.
Yeah, so like in any of the big games like Grand Theft Auto or whatever, it's like not the main. It's like the person you talk to, but they can't,
right.
They can't really interact.
I loaded. Wes, here you go.
Got it.
The movie.
There's a picture.
They just did the movie with Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy. Like it's all about NPCs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
this guy, you go talk to him. I loaded a few NPCs that were fat, like us. To give people an idea.
Right,
so like you go talk to him in Warcraft or something.
He just walks around in circles and grunts, but he doesn't really.
The really complicated games.
Hello.
It might if you didn't know, if Wes didn't know what an NPC is he got in a game, a really complicated game, he might figure it out in like 3 interactions. You're like, oh, it's programmed on a loop, right? You know what I mean?
Thank you for the banana.
Yep.
Historically, thank you for the banana. Historically, NPCs have been pretty shitty. Like what Red Dead 2 was like one of the first games ever to like make NPCs like kind of smart and like they would do different things, which made the game more fun because they weren't so robotic. They weren't so
based on your interactions. They would change. It's usually somebody West with like a predefined two to four responses that they can.
Right when you go in like a house in Zelda, and the guy's like, "Hey, what do you want?"
Yeah, buy a potion.
And what do you do? What do you do?
Yeah.
You torture them. That's what you've been done. You've been doing to NPCs for years. Like remember that Sim theme park game? You'd let a patron and you'd build a wall around them. Live in that wall.
Constantly like make your character like hump them into a wall.
Right. Or you let your Sims die. You know what I mean?
Sleep deprive them. Yeah. That was funny.
In all seriousness,
get so mad.
Right. You just abuse them. That's what they're for.
I'm tired.
But now, guys, this is the fucking weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Friday, my boy texted me. He's like, "You on this?" I'm like, "What is it?" It's this girl on TikTok called Pinky Doll, and I'm just gonna play it. So this is her doing a live on TikTok, and she's when she says,
I watched a few after
thank you
text, Pat.
for the ice cream. She's gotten some sort of tip from a simp.
Ice cream so good. Thank you, Lopez. Slay, huh? Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Yes. Ooh, yes. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Jace. Gang.
Is she real?
Take your Josh. Take your I don't know. Take your Tay. Take your I am. Ooh. Yes. Gang. Yes. Gang. Yes.
So they tip her, and then they just tip her to watch her speak like an NPC, whatever they say.
That's awesome.
Nerds.
You want more? You want just live more?
She's the number one.
Yes.
I want to punch my computer, but it's also I can't.
Here we
turn
go.
Away.
Can we get on a live thing and make her say some shit?
We'll get on a live and do when she's live. I don't know when she's live, but we'll have to tip her to say ice cream's so good. Ice cream's so good. All right, here's another one.
No, we don't. Feeling like a cowgirl. Let me run it, huh? Hee-haw, yes. You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me run it, huh? Gang. Ice cream so good. Gang. Yes. Gang. Ice cream so good. Oh, take it, I am. You got me feeling like a queen, huh? Slay, huh? Oh, take it.
It's incredible that people on TikTok
noise
like
again.
This shit.
Quack. Gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon.
See your kids in the background?
Look at that comment. What the fuck?
Oh no, there's like these are grown ass people, but they're making a lot of money. It's crazy.
They're making a lot of money. So for
My
you guys listening at home,
sniffs. I would make her sniff a lot.
gang. So if you guys listening at home, obviously you figured out, right? She's got triggers, right? 4 or 5 things she says when a tip comes in. So every time she said ice cream so good, it's because someone was tipping her ass. Or at gang, that's a bigger tip or a better tip, a leveled out tip. Now, the whole time she's doing this, she's holding a hair straightener and taking a kernel of popcorn kernel, putting it on the hair straightener and popping it. Dude, she does hours long streams with this shit. And that's the gimmick. And she's hot. She's super fucking hot. That's the thing.
That helps.
I can't even wrap my head around the fact that this is a business. Like, try to explain this to someone if you went back in the future.
This is even harder. I remember how mad people got about Twitch when it first came out, right? Everybody was like, "You're gonna watch somebody else play video games? Unbelievable!"
I still feel that
makes
way.
Twitch look very reasonable. This is pulling up your live stream on TikTok to pretend that you are a video game character, and there's millions of people paying you to do it. This is so much crazier than Twitch. And
I don't know.
This is like new. The internet has jumped the
I
shark.
feel like
right
I'm about to
here.
spend
Crazy.
$100 a week to make her sniff.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying
like
to you.
this?
Will,
This
is more reasonable than Twitch.
Yeah, this is better than Twitch.
You have control over, bro. This is like butt plug-io. This is like butt
Twitch
plug.
are actually watching
if you could get her
somebody
to say anything, it'd be different. But all she
You
says
know
is
you can't.
gang.
Twitch is
Gang,
productive. You're watching.
All
somebody
I
beat a level
all I
that
can
you
do
wanna
is
beat.
gang, unfortunately, which is what I'm stuck with.
You can't afford a gang. You know that.
Shit.
You're an ice cream so good level subscriber.
Yeah,
This is so thirsty. Like this is so thirsty. Like people are so thirsty to interact with this chat that they're just willing to pay to get her to say like 2 words. It's
I love you, Pinky. I love you so much. Ice Cup's so good.
It's like putting in like a token to like a jukebox. Here comes here. She's gonna say my word.
Yeah,
I know.
Actually, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine if your kid like ran up a credit card bill doing that shit. That would be one of the most infuriating things of all time.
This is the first of this type. But I have seen a lot of these type of people, Pat, these NPC or this type of thing. One guy, what he does is his whole TikTok spiel is he lays in bed and he's like, I've been up for 16 hours. And depending on what you tip him, a different noise goes off in his room, like an alarm clock,
That's
a
great.
siren. So like people tip him like galaxies and stuff, and like it's like a rooster goes off in his room, and he just like pretends to be sleep deprived. He like puts his pillow over his head. He's like, no. And,
I
like,
mean, sleep streams are huge too, man.
Yeah,
sleep
yeah.
streams like
he
thinking
just
about that
pretends to be sleep deprived.
I've been
it's
thinking about
another
it
way
for
to win
years.
watching people sleep.
It's not streamlined yet. I think part of this chick's what's interesting about her is the human feat, similar to the sleep guy, where she's doing it for such a long period of time. But if it was streamlined where you could have like, I don't think this guy has it hooked up for real. He's faking it, but like, you do this, you give me X amount of dollars, and something automatically happens on my screen. Like you get fucking dunked, right? Or like that's what Butt Plug-io was, right? Which is a guy that has a butt plug up his butt, and you can dial a phone number. And it calls, and it starts vibrating.
Yeah, but it's going to be mostly chicks that thrive in this industry, because I think a lot of this, like this trend and a lot of the other trends about, like it's basically because dudes are like men are being virgins until much later in life than ever before.
There's some bad ones. If you scroll on TikTok lives, there's some bad ones. There's one common one where these guys click like a really nice mouse, like as fast as they can, and there's a counter, and they try to get to, let's say, 10 billion clicks. Like it's like zero. There's a bunch of different commas, and they click and they click and they click. And depending on what you tip them, you either add to their total, or if you give them the biggest tip, it sets them back to zero. So he's just been clicking, and then you set him back to zero. But then if someone comes in with an even bigger tip, they get him back to where he was. And so like, it just is so stupid. He just sits there and there's tons of these guys. They just sit there and click all day. And people
it's people starving. Yeah. It's people starving for connection. It's like that. It's people who are just super lonely and they want to like connect with these people, and they think tipping is the way they're going to connect.
What are those numbers that were popping up on our screen? Is that equal to dollars? Or?
Yeah, so it's in TikTok, you put real dollars in to get awards, right? Point. It's like on every, like Instagram has the same fucking thing, YouTube, right? So I don't know what it costs to get 19 points, but they're awarding, and then she cashes out.
Like
she cashes out of it.
20, she's getting $20 to say ice cream.
No.
Well, who knows what the the unit is, but maybe it's 10 cents. Maybe she got 20
It's probably cents, right? Because she gets like 88 gangs in a minute. So it's probably like
I think the Galaxy is like one of the biggest ones, and it's like $10.
Oh, by the way, guys,
right? It's like a 50 cents to a dollar.
Most of them are like 20 cents.
This is an OnlyFans funnel, by the way. She's got a sex tape. Yeah, that's why she's doing it.
1,000 coins equals $13, Wes. So 20 coins is like 5 cents, 10 cents.
I mean, I'm glad that people can make a living doing this stuff. I just think that it's like the reasons behind why this stuff is thriving is not great for society.
No, this is not great for society.
Well, like, I mean, what's the difference between that and us doing our blackjack show or our roulette show? Which, by the way, Wes, I did a little digging. It's all rigged, but
no.
Roulette,
the online gambling casinos, they're all rigged.
We need to do.
I'm not saying there's something wrong with like doing it. What I'm saying
certainly feels that way.
Who wants to do the one that does the comments? Who wants to do the one that does the clicks? Who wants to do the fake sleep anger? We got to do all these things.
The paid interaction with people is a sign of the times. The paid interaction, because there's so many studies right now where like young men in particular, are more lonely than they've ever been. People aren't having sex till they're older, and then you see stuff
horny
like
or
this
lonely?
taking off. Well, both.
We should do something with we should do something food related. Like if they tip us, we have to take another bite, or like something like
a French fry.
Yeah. Or if they can prevent us or make us eat.
Yeah. Prevent us from eating our fries.
Prevent us from eating. It'd be funny.
And then maybe we have to. Maybe we're sitting on a toilet, but the toilet's cemented.
Yeah. You can't shit. You're on a shit strike.
You're on a treadmill, and they tip, and the speed goes up or down.
That's
dangerous, Wes. That's dangerous.
That would be great.
Yeah, but you have to have a max.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have some max.
I mean, there's
6 miles an hour.
Yeah, max
3
is 6 for sure.
3.5.
There's legs. We can definitely get something going. I mean, which one was the one we're gonna do? We were gonna do the roulette.
Oh, we were
first,
just gonna do roulette online. We were gonna do roulette online,
Yeah.
but people are doing it. I just think we'd do it better.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah.
You just get some of your
Save our
spins,
money.
basically.
Did you guys see that Alabama woman got found?
Yeah.
What came
So
home?
what was that? What happened?
Start from the beginning.
Her name is Carlee Nicole Russell, and she was missing for 2 days. I think it was on Friday. She was on the phone with her parents, or told her parents, like, I'm coming home. It's like 9 something in the evening. And then she called 911 because she saw a toddler on the side of the road. That's what she told 911. On the interstate. And she pulled over, and I guess after she got off the phone with 911, she called her brother's girlfriend. And the brother's girlfriend heard her like talking to the kid, didn't hear the kid, but heard her say, "Hey, do you need help?" And then heard her scream, and then gone. And then the cops rolled up, obviously, because the toddler's on the interstate, cell phone out of the car, her wig was still in the car, her wallet's strewn about, and it was like, for sure, Kate said to me before they found her, like, that poor woman, they'll never find her. And then
sounded like
she came home.
The child was like a bait child.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was like a human trafficking thing.
Correct. That's what it sounded like on first, because she was gone, like Pat said. The kid's gone. She's gone.
Do you know what else it sounds like?
What?
A ruse?
Sounds a little Sherry Papini-y. I'm not saying that's the case.
I was thinking that too, Pat. I was thinking the same.
Okay,
thing,
but then because she just showed up, found all of a sudden. What about the toddler? Where's the toddler?
Did you see the recent update with her?
No. So the last update I heard is she came home like Saturday night, Sunday morning, middle of the night. Parents took her to the hospital.
So they found her. Everyone thought she was going to be dead, or because it sounded like an abduction. She's never going to be found. That Pat said they found her, like early Sunday, and then no one's heard from her. No one's heard from her. But then her boyfriend just went to Twitter right before the show taping, and he alluded to the fact that she was kidnapped and she had to fight for her life to escape. That's more to come. The family's like, we're about to they're like, please respect our privacy. Stop guessing what happened. But the boyfriend already kind of alluded to the fact that she was
kidnapped. Damn, so it could have been a human trafficking shit.
But what are the possible scenarios?
She thought she was abducted too, but fake abduction.
Well, what are the possible scenarios though? Like if
she escaped.
Okay. No, but presumably someone's using a toddler as bait. That's presumable scenario.
Yes.
Or maybe the toddler, it's like a terrible parent and also a piece of shit. She rolls up on the toddler and the guy's like, like the gimp in Pulp Fiction. He's like, jackpot, my spiderweb caught a fly. That could also be possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, anything's
but
on
then
the
who
table.
lets someone go? That never
she
happens.
fought. He said she fought
out,
tooth and nail to get out. But which more to come? The other theory was like she had a psychotic break. Maybe there wasn't ever a fucking kid. Like
what if it's a guy in a custody battle and it was his one night to prove that he could take care of the kid?
He needed a witness,
and the kid goes missing. And she finds the kid, and he knows that he's gonna get found out and never see his kid again. And he's like, I gotta kidnap him.
I gotta kill her.
Well, now I gotta.
Wes,
one choice.
That's not too far flung. My friend came over the other day, who's a single mom, and she was talking about the woes of being a single mom in custody battles and shit. And she goes,
custody battles brutal.
She was like, I have a friend, right? Another single mom who's got like apparently a shitty husband or ex-husband. She didn't want the ex-husband to have the kid. Finally, they were like, okay, you can have the kid for one night. The guy lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The mom gets a phone call because the kid, who's a toddler, wandered out of the house in Brooklyn.
There you go.
That was it for him.
Yeah, I mean that's toast, bro.
He's never gonna see that kid ever again.
Yeah, he has to kill everyone that saw the kid.
Yeah,
he had one shot. Yeah, he had one chance, man.
It would be so easy.
Yeah, I gotta kill everyone now.
Just lock the door, bro.
Listen, I'm sorry that you had to be the one to find him and save him, but now I gotta kill you.
Yeah. Apparently, the kid's
being a city parent would be hard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what he
didn't know
said,
the kid. He was a bad father. He didn't know the kid was a sleepwalker.
Yeah, he didn't lock the door.
Didn't know anything about him.
He was about to lock the door, and he's like, what are the odds? That's not going to happen.
But yeah, this is crazy. This woman they found her like maybe at a motel, and then they definitely like found her ringing her parents' doorbell after 49 hours of just disappearance. It's wild.
More to come.
It's crazy that she didn't call anyone from the time she maybe escaped her captors or whatever to the time she got to
Or someone
Right,
was
but you can flail like was it a straight line from where a captive place to where
I think that's where the motel aspect of the story is going to come into play later because right now, like everyone's talking about how she knocked on her parents' doorsteps, but there's some murmurings that she might have been spotted or like was freaking out at a motel. Probably to get a cell phone or something, you know. Who knows?
Hey, call the cops.
Motels, you know, who knows what's going on?
Crazy. That's going to be a wild story. So I can't wait to find out.
It's hard to speculate.
I mean, that's a Dateline Central, but the bigger Dateline Central is the Long Island serial killer dude who fucking got snatched up on Friday. And, you know, depending on how you look at it, huge for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre because his neighbor was out there doing an interview in the middle of the street with a official licensed Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was the guy who was talking to him.
That's awesome.
So many people tagged me that. I was like, thank God it's officially licensed.
He supports. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude. So did anyone dig in that Long Island serial killer story deep? The Gilgo Beach?
A little bit. I had a wedding yesterday, so I couldn't spend too much time on it. But no, I mean it reminded me of the BTK guy who he had a family.
Dennis Rader.
Dennis Rader. But this guy was a frequenter of prostitutes and still was. What's fucked up is that the police were on to him for like a year, right? And they let him continue to frequent these prostitutes, which at any second he could have fucking strangled.
You gotta catch him red-handed.
Yeah. So like it was
a real Nassar situation.
If something would have happened to one of these women, they would have been in so much fucking trouble for letting this guy stay out. But I guess they just, you know, they were tagging him like they were the fucking guy in the Slayer, recent Slayer, Brian Koberger, and they just so they were just kind of like following for a year, and then I guess, you know, they were like, okay, it's time. But he had a bunch of burner phones. He was obsessed with looking up the Giglo, or however you say it, beach murders.
Gilgo
beach murders.
Oh, reading his own clippings.
He did like 200,000 searches for himself.
Yeah. And he was on he was like on like an interview about, I guess he's an architect doing like, I mean, some neighbors were like, it's crazy, and some neighbors were like, yeah, not shocked. And then some woman came out and was like, I had a weird experience with him where he kept popping out of the park, following me while I was on a jog. Like, this guy was getting ready to probably kill someone again. And yeah, sounds like they got the guy.
Does this look like a guy that frequents prostitutes?
Wig shops. God, dude. Look at that hair.
All-time John right there.
That's the guy that cashes in on Friday. It's Friday. Payday.
Holy shit, man.
That guy checks out prostitutes.
Yeah, that's a John, baby.
Yeah.
But dude, okay, there's been a couple podcasts about this. I'd listened to a number of them about the investigation. They charged this guy with 3 murders. Might be charged him with 4, but there's been like 12 bodies.
Right.
And it's between 4 and 8. That he might belong to. Yeah.
Right.
Well, there was a situation where this woman, a prostitute, I believe, went over to his house. I think it was him. Went over to his house, gated community on the beach, and the prostitute called 911, ran from the house, and then was never heard from again. And I think like that's when the cops were like, it's got to be this guy, obviously, right?
Well, they caught him with DNA from a fucking pizza box. His wife's 3 strands of his wife's hair were found at one of the scenes, like the burial scenes.
Oh, damn!
And then they matched it to a pizza box. And I don't know if 23andMe or any of those DNA sites had anything to do with it yet, but it was his wife's hair that did him in the end.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to hear that he's at least still getting down with his wife while he's frequenting and killing prostitutes.
Oh, just because he's
in his car.
Yeah, he's just around.
Is so dangerous. Yeah. The Chinese use it to create bioweapons, and
might hate her and drive her around.
Caught if you commit a crime.
Yeah,
stay away from 23andMe.
You don't want to be in the system.
Yeah. What's it called, Pat? I think what they do though is like they nailed him on these 3 or 4, and they'll probably like offer him a plea deal of life without parole instead of death penalty or whatever if he admits to the other ones type thing. Dude, this is the process where they try to bargain with him to cop for the other ones.
Kate and I listened to this show together, the serial killer one from Alexis Linkletter. She's like a big true crime person, like very attractive woman. She's got like she did the thing where she did the true crime podcast and then got a show on OWN network doing true crime. But I brought it up to Kate when we were talking about it. She goes, oh my God, that cop. And I was like, you're right. And the whole fucking podcast they did is pretty much like, we're almost positive it's this Suffolk County police officer. and I got to go back and listen because that guy's got a fucking lawsuit, dude.
Oh,
they were like,
they did
were
podcasts about him.
I mean, they were pretty much like, you know, they were saying this guy's.
They name his name.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
Oh, yeah,
Lieutenant Dan.
Dude, he's gonna fucking own that podcast network.
I want to listen to this podcast, John. They're naming you as a murderer.
Yeah,
but then it makes you think, dude.
They might want to delete that podcast before
decorated.
Maybe he's an accomplice. Maybe he's a fucking accomplice, dude. Who knows?
No, dude. Oh, he better be for their sake. Otherwise, they owe him.
That you know what it is. That guy also just really frequented prostitutes. Probably.
Yeah,
loved them.
He loved.
I loved them.
Yeah. Dangerous to be a whore.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you better believe it.
It's a double-edged sword. Police and prostitutes probably
lucrative but dangerous, Wes. Yeah,
right. You're like, you want to bust them, but at the same time,
not for me.
You're kind of horny at the end of a show.
Every news magazine reran their Go-Go Beach because everyone had done one when they were searching for who it was. And guess what, guys? I think the woman that I was talking about, the gated community woman, you know why she got killed? Because fucking Craigslist banned her, bro. Because Craigslist was like, you're a prostitute, you can't post no more. And this is the thing.
Gotta get shadier.
People in our government think, oh, man, we're going to stop sex trafficking by shutting down Backpage. And it's like, no, bro, you make it so much more dangerous, dude.
Hey, you're not going to kill me, are you? Just the anal? All right.
Okay. Just the forced anal.
Watch out.
That's like a drug dealer when he's like, you're not a cop. That's what they say with the
and when this guy shows up, you don't think that that's your last breath. Like he just looks like every John you've ever seen.
How big is he though? Is he huge?
He's a formidable man.
Yeah, I have a feeling his issue is he got embarrassed a few times because I think he came his pants early, and so then what do you have? Well, you got to kill her.
Comer.
You got to kill her because you came your pants in front of her too early, and then.
That guy's haircut screams premature ejaculation.
Yeah, like he gets to look at her and he's in his pants.
Yeah. He's like Wayne Grow in Heat. He comes early and he's like, "Don't you know what this is?"
It's either the easiest money you've ever made or you're dead.
Right.
You're lucky I didn't come early.
It's a quick one.
It's fucked up.
Fuck that guy. Glad they caught him. And also good for that officer. His name's cleared now too. He can win a bunch of money.
Apparently, this guy Rex Hueremann or whatever the fuck his name is. He has a daughter that was on his architecture firm. I like when you hear from the daughter, like in the BTK thing, where the daughter's like, you know, they interview her and how fucked up it made her. Her name's Victoria.
Yeah. She's
like
a tough week.
Yeah, she's having a tough week. Yeah. Daddy was just arrested for being a serial killer.
It does have a lot of similarities to Daddy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, you know how they busted Dennis Rader, dog? They busted him because he was using his fucking church email address, and
it was a floppy disk
drive
that they computer forensics early in computer forensics
took him back to the church.
Took it back to the church.
He got caught by a floppy disk.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Or like one of the smaller discs. Not
floppy disk.
The one that would have one Pam Anderson photo on it, just the one trade around. Yeah,
you get like 30 on there, 30 photographs.
What compression? Well, what compression?
I mean, shitty, but you could get.
Do you remember the old
30 porno pics on there?
Not the hard disk, but the
the big one.
Floppy, the rectangle,
the big floppy ones. Those
were actually floppy.
Yeah, they were actually floppy.
Oh, those ones. Yeah,
they weren't
had like the circle in the middle.
The vinyl,
yeah.
Those were real shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
Lewis and Clark on those.
Good news though, and good news.
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail,
of course.
Yeah, that's back in the floppy days. But in good news though, everybody thought she was out. Sha'Carri Richardson has not lost a 100-meter race in 2023.
Damn, man, she was always so talented. She got a little head Casey there for a year when they banned her.
Yeah, she chased down the Jamaican. It's ironic because she is now the most feared person in Jamaica as a giant pothead. So very ironic,
she keeps beating these Jamaican women, right? Like this year.
Oh, she smashes them. Yeah, she's beat them every single race this year.
Well, also, are they going to let her in the next Olympics? Or
no, because she still smokes weed probably. Yeah. So no, they won't. But she's smashing everybody in these races where they probably don't test for pot. Also, there was an American man who had won every single 100-meter in 2023 until this last race that Sha'Carri won. He lost to a South African. So American sprinting doing really good if they could just, let our weed smoking sprinters into the Olympics. So,
well, how fast is the guy? We need to still watch the roided Olympics where the guy claims he's faster than Usain Bolt in the promo.
Yeah, white guy says he can beat Usain Bolt in a foot race.
How's that possible?
Well, he just
On
on
steroids.
Yeah,
Claims that steroids makes him
the
fast.
fastest man in the
Juice
world.
to the gills.
Yeah,
But do you get really fast? I thought you get
RFK
slow on
style.
steroids.
this guy does. This guy claims he does.
Yeah.
You said, I think different steroids make you faster or stronger. You can take
Muscles
different
fire.
It's they don't. He doesn't show his full 100 meters. It's just kind of him in a promo video saying he's the fastest man in the world. So you got
about to go.
Take his word for it.
I'm about to go. I swear to God.
It's good marketing to say a white guy is gonna beat Usain Bolt.
Oh, great
It's
mark.
nuts. Yeah.
It had everybody's appetite wet for that. I mean, but we'll probably never see it because it was just like
10,000 people join my Patreon. I swear to God, I'm gonna release the video of me go. Oh, I almost did. I'm not gonna go yet.
I'm not willing to go as far as to say the Jews did it on purpose, but
He didn't say that.
you can't rule it out.
I mean, there are people that heard that, Mark. There's a bunch of fucking
the
anti-Semite
video.
piece of shits that heard that. But yeah.
can't rule it out.
I really can't rule it out.
I mean, dude, he totally fucked that up, man. Like, look, hey, even if RFK is your guy, come on,
Yeah,
you got to
admit
say
he fucked up. Yeah.
you got to say that he did not handle that conversation
And
like
it
a
took
presidential
him.
candidate.
It took him a minute to get there too, so everyone's just hanging on
Yeah.
every word.
Huh?
Like, what's he gonna say?
Where's he going with this?
Yeah, where's he going with this? And then he goes, the Jews.
The
And you're like,
specific type of Jew.
The way he says it, I mean, he just stepped in every single shit pile he could in that whole
You
conversation.
hear a fart in the background. That
Dude,
was-
there was definitely
Guys farting and
He
screaming.
really built
there was
Climate
there was-
hoax.
there was some white supremacist piece of shit who heard that on Friday and was like, "Guys, I got to cancel my plans. You hear what RFK said? I got to make some connections here. This is gonna be huge."
He's my
Well,
guy.
what's funny, I was texting this to you guys, but when everybody was those stories about him being potentially racist against Jewish people were coming out, a lot of people were talking about how he's going to be the surprise Veep candidate with Trump, which is just so nuts because how left he is. It wouldn't make any sense, but yeah.
Y'all hear about the super Jew that RFK was talking about, the
they're
Ashkenazi?
Yep,
They're
that's how it
mute.
started. Yeah,
super
Super
Jew.
Jew. They're unkillable.
Engineered, man. I've been telling you.
4chan
Finally,
lit up.
someone that speaks my language that gets it.
Once again, the Kennedys are spewing the truth.
Finally, Trump has a worthy running mate.
Didn't I always say it? We don't have Democrats like we used to with the Kennedys. Did I always say that?
Always
There you
did.
go.
All right. Well, that's the show, man. Let's get that wheel up.
We got to bring up the wheel.
Let's
No,
get
we
that
don't.
wheel up.
Oh no, we don't. Didn't
Well,
we?
no, yeah,
Mark will
because
have the coffee tomorrow.
that we kind of have to let him in on it now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
coffee
So-
tomorrow.
Yeah, Mark's doing coffee tomorrow.
Is it gonna be loosey goosey?
Only on Mondays shows are loosey goosey. It'll be a little bit more structure tomorrow. It'll be a little bit more structure. Shit. I like that.
Nice.
Well then,
Nice.
take us out, someone.
Yeah, get up.
Get it. Do it, Pat.
No,
Do it.
you do it. No, you do it. I want you to do it.
All right. Well,
All right, I'm gonna do it. Get out there and have a great. No, I'm kidding. Have a great fucking. You got it.
Have a great fucking day. Bye.
There we go.